Welcome to Red V TV, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2022 season, as we continue our build-up to the start of the new Betfred Super League campaign. It's a week to go until Saints open their league season up against Catalan Dragons at the Totally Wicked Stadium. And it can only mean one thing, Kevin. It's time for our number 7.
It's Lewis Dodd.
New halfback for 2022. And Kevin, if you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them on Facebook, which I'm sure you will, maybe you can hire A-Team Electrical.
Very good. Very, very good.
Thank you very much. See, that was worth their sponsorship money alone just for that intro on Red V.
It certainly was.
Lewis Dodd, he's been a star in the making for many, many years now. Say many, many years. How long? Probably 2 or 3 years we've been hearing about him coming through. He's had to bide his time behind Theo Farge, who's now moved on to Pastors New Blessing in a trophyless Huddersfield Giants stadium. But they have sold 3,000 season tickets in a 24,000 seat stadium, which they're really proud about. Can't wait for that atmosphere. But Lewis Dodd, he came into the side. He's given us those glimpses, and now I don't want to say it's his team to lead, but it's his team to guide around the pitch alongside Johnny Lomax.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays in his first full year, and how he kind of takes on that expectation and that pressure of being the Saints number 7. We've had some absolutely brilliant players adorn that shirt. And it'll be interesting to see, how he's told to play, whether that's you play what's in front of you and he can be off the cuff, or whether he's a little bit more structured in what he does. I don't imagine it'll be somewhere in between the two. Obviously, he's got such a good halfback partner next to him in Johnny Lomax, who will obviously he'll be gleaning little bits from throughout the year. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope fans, while we expect a lot from our Saints first team, and rightly so, I hope we don't start getting on young lads' backs straight away if they're not being a prime Sean Long in week 1 and 2 of the season.
You love the prime Sean Long line.
I do love the prime Sean Long line. You're right.
Obviously, he made 21 appearances last season. Once Theo Farge got injured in that Challenge Cup final, he was going to get that run until the end of the year, wasn't he? But now Theo has gone. Does it give him more chance to grow? That I want to say he doesn't have somebody on his shoulder all the time, and it gives him time to grow in the team. And as you said, he's not going to be fantastic every week. He's still going to be learning a little bit on the job. But he probably hasn't got a better place to do it than the side that we've got playing around him. Yeah,
with regards to the first bit, I don't know. The pressure might be a good thing of having Theo, that he's got to kind of push and make his way into the team. And obviously, as you say, he got the run after Theo's injury. Being in a champion team, the pressure is probably higher than if he was in a mid-table team, a team who isn't really in danger of getting relegated, but may well skirt into the playoffs. The pressure might be a little bit lower. But I think Lewis Dodd has got the personality, or he seems to have the personality of someone who that won't faze him. And yet, listen, we think back, and I mentioned Sean Long and the likes. They weren't brilliant every week. They weren't fantastic every week. So don't expect each one of our players to be brilliant every week. I have no doubts that Lewis Dodd will have a lot more better games than he has poor games. I fully expect that, because he just looks like he's got that swagger. He looks like he's just got that eye for a gap, for a pass, for a kick. Kind of a little bit less, I call it formulaic than Theo. A little bit more off a little bit more off the cuff. And definitely an exciting prospect for us this coming year.
Last season, when he got his break in the side, Do you feel that the style of rugby we played with him was contained a little bit more, and it was just trying to make sure it stayed risk-free? Because with the team that we had, you always got the feeling last year that basically he just needed to function and be a functioning part of the team that didn't have any negatives in his game. As long as he did the core role, we would go on to win a trophy. Whereas this year, he'll have that more of a chance to shine from early on. Obviously, he'll have had the pre-season behind him. He'll have known that he is Christian Wolf's first choice halfback. And as you say, we may see a lot more expansive rugby from him this season.
Yeah, we might do when the situation arises. I think we've got a very certain way of playing. Where we don't, it's not going to be in the first 5 or 10 minutes unless there's something so obviously 100% on that it can be done. We don't really throw it about too much very early doors. I think it's more a case of when the game is won or looking more like we're in control, that will then happen, that we'll be able to kind of play a little bit more off the cuff. But I think when you say about us playing almost within ourselves, or like containing, like Theo was a very good containing scrum half. You were never going to get a flash of brilliance, or not too many flashes of brilliance, but you knew what he was going to bring to the team. You knew that he was like a percentages kicker, so he'd always put it in that little just in from the corner, like 10 metres in from the corner flag, his kicks to make us challenge. Maybe we'll see something a little bit different from Lewis, but I don't think we'll go too far away from that game plan. I hope that we do see a little bit more from Lewis than we did from Theo, a little bit more of that spark that he's got, of that natural ability, because I don't want to see him stifled in a team. And this, I'm not knocking kind of how we play or how we set up, but when you've got a talent as exciting as Lewis Dodd, you don't just want him getting it first or second receiver and shoveling it on. You want him having a look and maybe spotting a gap or throwing a cutout pass, putting a kick through and kind of backing himself. I'm sure that he will be told he can do that. I just want to see it this season.
You spoke of the kicking game a little bit there this season. I assume, after watching the pre-season friendly, that Lewis Dodd may have the kicking duties this season if he beats out Alex Walmsley for that job.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Walmsley's 100%, isn't it? And Doddy missed the first one, I think. So, listen, we've got some talented kickers at the club. Tommy Makinson, Matt Percival, and Lewis. So, I think it looked like he was taking the role. By kicking in the testimonial. I think it's almost a given that he'll thrive on that pressure. And again, I think it took Lachlan Coote a little bit of time to find his range when he did start with us, and people were arguing that Danny Richardson should still be taking kicks when he came back into the team back then. But again, just give him time, let him get settled into it, let him get up and running, and yeah, he'll be good for us for a couple of years to come yet, will Daddy.
So 2022, there's a World Cup at the end of the year. Is making that squad a bridge too far? Or if Lewis has a worldie of a season, will Sean Wayne sit up and take notice and potentially include him in that team?
If we're challenging at the top end of the table, if we're getting to Challenge Cup final, if we're playing well and our halfbacks are running the show, Sean Wayne can't ignore Lewis Dodd. A bridge too far? If you ask me now, I don't think Lewis Dodd would be in the World Cup squad. Can he play himself into it? Absolutely. 100% he can.
I think that's another one done, Kev.
Happy days.
We're flying. We are on the countdown now with a week to go. It almost feels like it's come around dead quick doing these.
Does, doesn't it? That's it. I was starting with number 31, Pemberton, a month to go out from the season. Doesn't seem 5 minutes ago. But yeah, listen, it's been good fun, kind of reviewing each or previewing each player's season and seeing kind of where we think they'll fit in and how they'll do and what they need to attain. Just 6 more to go.
I'm really disappointed that the World Cup wasn't in Australia, because I would have been talking about Lewis. Could he make the squad, or would he not be getting on that playing pool?
How many of these 18 jokes have you got written down?
I've got 4.
Have you?
I can work my way through. Could be here all night.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We're going all right with these, and I do love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. So we could have got on for expert analysis. Craig Murdoch.
We could have, yeah. Is he known as HM?
Right, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And we'll be back tomorrow with another Superstar Saint. Catch you soon.